Hello there! It's time to get started on our Bernat Bamboo Crochet Vest project. And the pattern is on the Bernat Yarn website. I've got it here on my Nook so that I can just reference it. It's the Bernat Bamboo Crochet Vest. We're using Bernat Bamboo yarn, which is wonderful. It's so cushy and excellent. I love that yarn. Mostly bamboo with a little bit of acrylic and polyester. The bamboo is this soft fiber that you see, real fluffy fiber, and the acrylic and polyester is this thread that binds it all together. And as you work with it, you need to hold it very gently so that it doesn't come apart. It's kind of a fragile yarn, but your finished project will not be fragile. It will be nice and beautiful and last for many years. So, in order to get started on the project, we need to look at our instructions, and I've already flipped to the second page here, and it's got all kinds of instructions here. Your stitch glossary, then it has a little note, and then it starts left front. That's where we need to go, left front. So I'm making size 3X. I need to chain 25. So I've got a lot of yarn sitting here because I used this yarn to make my gauge swatch earlier. So I just unraveled it, and now I'm going to use it for our project. So like I said, hold it nice and loose. Don't pull it too tight as you work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put the camera back a bit. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And like I said in the last video, you want to let the circles stay big. Each chain should stay loose and open so that it stretches out nice and loose. You want to let each stitch stay the same size as it was when it was around the thickest part of your hook. That's the reason why you use different size hooks, because the hook determines how big each of your stitches is going to be. So now I just did 25 chains. I'm ready for the next instruction. It says first row RS. RS means right side. They're just letting you know that this is the right side. It says 1 double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So you don't count the loop that is on the hook. What you do is you look I'm going to point this down a little bit because it's pointing up too much. There. You look at your loops, and the first loop is the one that's right below your hook, not that's wrapped around your hook, but right below the hook. 1, 2, and you can see the little loops here. 3, 4, and that's where I need to work. So I'm going to hold that with my finger, and I'm going to wrap my yarn because I need to wrap it once. And I'm working my first double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. There. Now it says continue to do a double crochet in each chain to the end of the chain. So, and then it tells you at the end of that first row, it says how many double crochets you should have on your row. I should have 23 double crochets when I finish this row. So I already have 2. So now I can start counting. So there's 2. Go to the next stitch. This is 3. Go to the next stitch. 4. The next stitch. 5. 6. And you can find your stitches by looking at these little loops. And I always work under just one strand for the first row. You might want to work under 2 strands for your first row. It's your decision. I like working under 1. So there. I just like the look of my edge better when I work under 1 strand. And I leave 2 strands loose on the edge. I just think it looks better than just 1 strand loose. But everybody has their own way of doing things. So if you want to have just 1 strand loose on the edge, that's your decision. I stopped counting. Now I've lost count. I'm just going to keep working to the end. And hopefully I'll have 23 double crochets. We'll soon find out, won't we? I always do that. Start talking. Why do I do that? You know, I used to get in trouble in school for talking too much. I remember when I was in the 2nd grade, my teacher was Miss Howie. She was so sweet. Anyway, she used to keep a list on the blackboard, and it said walkers and talkers. I was always on there because I was out talking to everybody all the time, getting in trouble. I was smart though. I did good in school, but all of my report cards, the teacher would say, Sandy does good work, but her talking prohibits others from doing theirs. Lord have mercy. So that's why I'm patient with my piano students, because they like to talk too. So it looks like that was my last stitch. Let's count the stitches and double check. So now, if you look at your pattern, it says first row, right side, 1 double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet in each chain to the end of the chain, turn, and then it tells you how many double crochets you should have at the end of your row. That's what this 11, 14, 16, 17, la la la. That's telling you how many double crochets you should have. So I should have 23 now. So I'm going to pull that real loose so it doesn't come off. I want to count my double crochets. And remember, the note at the beginning of the pattern said the chain 3 at the beginning row counts as a double crochet. So there's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yay! We got it. So now when I put my hook back in, you want to make sure not to twist it too much. So I pull this end out, and that helps me see which end I was pulling through. There, just like that. And like I mentioned before, let the yarn flow loose with this project, since it's a tender, delicate yarn. There we go. So I've got my first row complete. I'll see you in you know what? The second row is just as easy. So let's go ahead and do the second row. The second row says chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it says 1 double crochet in every double crochet to the end of the row. Now, this is the tricky part. Some people will try to work a double crochet here. Don't do that. That's the stitch that counts as a stitch. The 3 chains count as a stitch. So they use that spot already. Don't start working here in this hole. The first hole you work in is over here. And so it's going to look like there's a great big gap from your first stitch to the second. And it's going to look like it's leaning over. Don't worry about it. This is your first stitch. So don't take that hole that was already taken by your first stitch. So just work all these double crochets all the way across. I'm just going to work them as quickly as I can. And it's so much easier to fill the stitches when you're on the second row. All you do is you can see that hole right there. There's a hole there, there's a hole there, and you're always working under 2 strands when you work the second row. And remember to keep letting that yarn flow. Don't hold it tight, keep it loose. And that'll make your entire project have a nice drape, and your gauge will stay accurate from beginning to end. There. So let that yarn flow nice and smooth. This yarn is so soft, it's like butter. I love it. I could work with this all day. And all night too. God, it's just wonderful. There's this one. And I think I still need one more stitch, but I'm going to count these just in case because I don't want to have too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yes, I need one more stitch. So that's the tricky part. That's hard to measure. So you have to work your last stitch into the top of that last chain. And I sometimes work it kind of low on the chain just to make it have a straighter edge. That's just the way I like to do. You can do it however you want. I just like to work kind of low on that chain, a little bit lower than normal. There, now I've done my second row, and the instruction after the second row says to repeat that last row twice more. So I need to do row 2 more times. So I'll see you in the next video after I finish doing that. Talk to you later. Bye.